everyone. My name is Julia Adams Whitaker, and I'm a learner support specialist with student accessibility and achievement at McGill University. Before we get into the topic of the day, please have a look at the description below the YouTube video. Here you will find some links to the resources that we will be exploring together today. Now, let's get started. First, have you ever looked at your course schedule and realized that there was a large assignment due the next day? Then, did you ever have to rush to get it done before the deadline? Do midterms ever take you by surprise when you realize that you have three coming up in the next week and you aren't prepared for any of them? And finally, do you find yourself losing track of tasks that need to be completed, especially when midterms and finals are amping up? If you replied yes to any of these questions, or you just want to know a bit more about balancing your schedule, staying organized, and on top of your work, or how to avoid only remembering important assignments the night before they're due, well, then this video is for you. This is one example of a semester schedule template. As you can see, they're each sectioned off by month, and each week occupies a row from left to right, and each day of the week occupies a column from top to bottom. Now that we know what it looks like, how would we go about filling one of these in? When it comes to creating your semester schedule, there are 3 steps that you should follow. First, use your course syllabus. When you sit down to start completing your schedule, make sure to have a copy of all of your course syllabus in front of you. This way, as you're going through your schedule, it'll be easy for you to identify and add in all of the important dates for each of your classes. Important dates include things like assignment due dates, test quiz exam dates, or the day you need to present a project. Next, make sure to include the weight or the percentage of each assignment, test, or quiz. This is helpful when you need to prioritize and identify what should be done first. If you have a quiz in chemistry worth 3% and a project in psychology worth 20%, both due on the same day, you are likely to prioritize the psychology project because it's worth more. This will help you also decide how many days you should spend on a given task. Usually, the more something is worth, the more time that you will have to dedicate to that task or assignment. This also comes in handy and is very helpful when planning weekly schedules. This is something that we will get into a bit more in another one of our videos. And finally, make sure to add in any social events that may impact your studying. This will be helpful to identify what will impact your studying or work on a given day. This will help you know when you will be unable to get work done so that you don't plan work on those days. And finally, this will really facilitate the planning process as you're hopefully likely not to schedule something over a very busy weekend. We all have strategies that work well for us, but may not be as effective for others. And that's totally okay. Here are some questions that you can ask yourself to help decide which changes you would like to make to the semester schedule so that it can fit your individual needs. First, ask yourself, do I easily lose track of printed materials like notes, assignments, or reminders that I might have written down for myself? If yes, maybe it's a good idea to make your semester schedule on the computer. This way, a copy will always exist in the digital world, and you can easily make changes as you go along. Here, you'll be less likely to lose it since it's on the computer, likely in a cloud somewhere, and will always be there for you. If you prefer creating something by hand, or if creating it on the computer isn't necessarily what's best for you, make sure to take a picture of it once it's completed. Save it on your computer or on your phone. So this way, a copy will always be available digitally, even though it had been created by hand. You can easily update the schedule and then take another photo and put it wherever you'll remember it. But remember, always print or photocopy your semester schedule and keep the physical copy where you can easily see it daily. Next, ask yourself, do I find it hard to concentrate on documents or differentiate between courses on a schedule where everything is the same color? If yes, try adding some color, just like in the example we saw. You can color code the text and use a different color for each course. This way, you can quickly associate the assignments to their course based on the color. If you prefer something else, something more neutral, you can complete the schedule in black and white. Just make sure to include all of the course names with each task so that you know which assignment goes with course. Remember, you can always add color at a later point if you change your mind and realize that it's harder for you to follow along or differentiate between the different courses and different assignments. Now, ask yourself, do I plan to take a break from my academic work throughout the semester, such as a Friday off a month or a weekend off every 6 weeks? If your answer to this is yes, make sure to add those dates to your schedule. That way, planning for those days can really help you stay organized and complete some of your work beforehand. These planned breaks can help motivate you to stay on track so that you can enjoy your break since you got your work done before. If you don't plan to take breaks, which you should take at least a couple of breaks for yourself, or you prefer that your breaks are more spontaneous, spur of the moment, closer to the day rather than planned out throughout the week or the semester, have a look at your semester schedule first to see if a break is feasible the next day, that upcoming weekend, or even that afternoon. I suggest trying to plan your break a week or two in advance whenever that's possible. So that way, if there are other tasks coming up that need to get done, you still have the time available to complete them. Remember, taking a break from academic work is an important part of being a student. Strive for balance in your schedule. And finally, ask yourself, do I find this template visually overwhelming? Or is there not enough space in these small boxes to help me keep track of my task? If so, try a side-by-side calendar view. This is where you will take 4 monthly calendars that span the semester, putting them side by side, September, October, November, December. The goal with these semester schedules is really to see everything all at once. So keeping that in mind, having them side by side can really help you stay organized by taking a photo of the 4 calendars together. That way, you're still seeing your semester in a glance. If you don't find this template overwhelming at all, and you really like the way that it's structured, keep it as is. Modify it if needed. If you think of something else, another way to keep track of these tasks and easily be able to associate them with different courses, definitely make those changes as needed. Remember, hang these calendars on your wall side by side and take a picture. Again, This way, you will have a digital copy of it with you at all times. If you would like to learn more about how to individualize your academic strategies, please take a moment to browse the other videos on our YouTube page.